2 years ago, the world changed with one of the most informative news channels of all time. Hi, my name is Levad, and you are listening to Levad's Take. That's right, your ears do not deceive you. I'm back because the news for the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand is of vital importance. And I have been inundated every single day since the end of Levad's Take for it to be brought back. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else involved, that is exactly what we're doing here today. And as you will see, I have put on my best outfit because that's how important this is for the people of our country. I have put on my work clothes that I have not put on for 6 months. I have sprayed on some of my best cologne. I've put on my jewelry, and I have also put on my watch. Levad's Take isn't just some simple little thing anymore of a boy sitting in his room reporting on important news. No. Levad's Take has grown to be more than that because the news that you have been asking for is important. And it isn't just something that is going to be spoken about in someone's room. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As you will see, Levad's Take has a brand new studio. And with some increased budget, I have hired political editor Rebekah Pemberton, who you might know as the lead singer of Ototahi-based band Teal Sky. She reports live from Christchurch to go ask some of the humans in the city what is important in today's world.
Kia ora and good evening. I'm in the beautiful streets of Sydenham, Christchurch, where we're asking locals interesting news. So, according to a 2009 study, Dr. Jaden Smith said we needed to talk more about the economical and political side of the world. Do you think that we should do this?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Have you ever listened to his music?
Never heard of it.
At a local news hub report today, turns out Jacinda Ardern is coming back into Parliament. How do you feel about this?
I'm indifferent. So don't really care.
She hasn't actually left. Whether she'll come back as leader, I doubt it, given Hipkins's polling.
If you want to news like travel agency,
I was just lying. Very sorry.
Okay. So that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Yeah.
you can ask them
Yes.
how many customers they have.
So lettuce prices have been rising recently, some reaching as far as $7. How do we think the Mirabelle mums and their salads are going to handle this? Unhealthy?
For me, I'm not a Mirabelle mum, so no.
Thank you so much for watching Rebekah News. I will now await some of the finest transportation this country has to offer. Ka kite.
Rebekah, thank you so much for going out and finding the crucial news of the people. Tell us a little bit, like, what was the general feel amongst the public? You know, was it something of joy? Was it something of anxiety? What's the general feeling that we're getting with the public?
The general feeling that we are getting with the public today is somewhat of an anxiety-filled yet joyous attitude we saw on the streets today in Sydenham, that everybody was eager to know about Dr. Jaden Smith's political and economical stresses, as well as Mirabelle mums not being able to afford other things as lettuce prices surge. It was a very interesting take and a very interesting morning. Vlad, back to you.
Thank you, Rebekah. Rebekah, I just have to ask you some questions on the lettuce situation, because this is something that people are outraged about. You know, I'm outraged about this too. How is it that I can go get my lunch, which I have enjoyed today from New World? I got a ciabatta pizza with salami, cheese, and tomato sauce on top of a ciabatta bread. Extremely delicious, $4.99. Okay, I looked at the health rating of that. There's approximately 1,200 calories in that meal. And bear in mind, I said it was just $4.99. And then I think to myself, hey, I would like to possibly unclog my arteries and live a more healthier life. So I ventured over to the produce section where I swear I saw a lettuce, and that lettuce looked me back in my eyes and said, Lavard, if you would like to put me in your mouth, you will have to pay $7. Rebekah, what was the general feeling amongst the public when you asked them about the lettuce prices here in our country?
It is absolutely shocking. It was quite a sad scene hearing the pedestrians gather together as a community to rise up against this economic crisis. You see, $4 for a sandwich seems reasonable, yet takes a toll. However, when trying to recreate such a beautiful thing, it can only get worse, with one head being $7. But how many heads do you have to feed within your family? General consensus was somewhat okay, some confused. Back to you, Lavard.
Yes, very, very alarming hearing what the public is saying about that. And what you just said, $4 to feed one head, but how many heads are in a household? And as the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand will know, the general census, you see, I did drop out of school at the age of 12 years old. So I got that confused there. My apologies. I am only human. The census did come out, and you make a great point. You know, typically in a household in our country, there is more than one head. And, you know, the word head, it just makes me think about heads of broccoli. Were there any comments amongst the public in regards to the price of broccoli?
The Greens is a party that creates a lot of controversy, yet when it came to the Greens, such as lettuce, nothing else got brought up. It was only lettuce, no broccoli, no celery, no spinach.
Of course. Thank you, Becca. And from my understanding, this conversation of the price of lettuce in our country has stemmed from you asking the general public about Dr. Jaden Smith and his troubled view on our economic and political world that we live in. Was there any word from Dr. Jaden? I understand you reached out to him. Did you get anything back from him?
Yes. So Dr. Jaden Smith was a very pivotal figure. Correction, still is, hasn't gone anywhere. Still is woke as ever, as the kids would like to say. The general population didn't understand quite fully the lengths of what he was trying to say, the desperation, the hunger, the simple urge for everybody to wake up and realize that we should just discuss the economical and political state of the world, because it is in ruin. We have policies that are coming in that are a bit cuckoo or crazy. And I think a lot of the children really do need to listen, as he once did a beautiful TED talk in the middle of Karate Kid, a very great documentary back in the day. I think his fellow mentor and friend in Christ, Justin Bieber, a well-known pastor, they were together there on the soundtrack spreading the good news before he got his doctorate. As he continued, I think it's important that we all discuss this and that these issues get brought up, and I think that the more conversations we have, the population will have too. Thank you.
Becca, you make an extraordinarily relevant point there. And just to clarify for the people that are listening in who might be confused as to the work that Dr. Jaden and Pastor Bieber have performed, that comes in the form of hit single, I Will Never Say Never. And I just had to ask there,
Never say it.
is that I will never say never mantra, was that common amongst the youth that you reported on today? I'm assuming that the youth that you spoke to today, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm a 24-year-old man. The youth these days now seems to be extraordinarily addicted to things like TikTok, where the most prominent issues of today's society is how many likes, views, and followers do I have on my page? So, Becca, my question to you, linking back to I will never say never, is that what the youth were saying to you when you asked them, are you still going to buy lettuce?
When I broke out into song and actually recreated that passion and that flavor that single had, it really spoke to the youth. We didn't reflect fondly on these lettuce prices, but I think it's interesting that you brought up the TikTok, because the children were saying and discussing about how the lettuce prices should be broadcasted on TikTok, as it is a conflicting two-way, double-edged sword, as someone would say, where TikTok can raise awareness but also bring idiots.
Absolutely. And very valid points there. And for those kids who were hoping to see things about the lettuce prices in Aotearoa, New Zealand on TikTok, well, I hope that this page might serve as a place of valuable and relevant information. Now, I don't think there's more to be said on the lettuce crisis in our country. Now, Becca, what I would like to discuss with you is something that happened to me just a couple days ago here in Wellington, New Zealand. And it was extraordinarily chilling and it was extraordinarily alarming. Allow me to elaborate on this. So for those who live in Wellington, they might be aware that the Mount Victoria tunnel has a supposed ghost, and it is tradition that when you drive through this tunnel that you honk your horn to shoo the ghost away from your car. Now, I drove through that tunnel and I went to a friend's house to involve myself in some dinner. After dinner, I headed to the bathroom and I locked the door securely. And as I was in that bathroom, I jokingly said to myself, as I was getting a little bit of a chill on the back of my neck, I felt some kind of paranormal energies in that bathroom. And I jokingly said to myself, I want to know if there's ghosts out here, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna test the waters just in case there is a ghost, because I do not want to be spooked by a ghost. Now, after I said that, the locked bathroom door, and this is a completely true and reliable story, the locked bathroom door gently opened itself. I turned around, shocked. Rebekah, the story's not over. You thought that was chilling. I head back into a room, and then from that room, I hear a flatmate say, oh my God, there's a ghost in my room. Chilled. I stood up, went to his room, where he explained that a paper bag on the middle of his bed was gently moving to the edge, and when he looked at it, it stopped. And here's the most chilling part. It stopped at an unnatural angle. And that, to me, is the most chilling word. So, Rebekah, what I wanted to ask you, do you think that there is some kind of correlation between these mysterious happenings within the house and the Mount Victoria tunnel ghost? Or do you think that these bizarre occurrences were made possible because of the fact that Wellington is extraordinarily windy and perhaps a draft was just simply blowing through an old house? Rebekah?
I will be the first to say that reporting on a draft isn't old news, but it could likely be the latter. One of the conflicting things on recent reports on this Victorian tunnel is if you don't honk the horn, you're fucked. Recent reports show that 36% of lesbians in the Wellington area have not honked their horn and therefore have had all their Subaru legacies taken off of them, as well as their rights to having black or red fuzzy dice in the front center console. There could be links between the two, as the ghost could have simply been hungry, something that is an issue in this country, regardless whether or not you are a living or past being. I think these issues and these reports that you're bringing up, Lavard, are important, as sometimes the paranormal becomes paranoia for populations that refuse to acknowledge it. Back to you.
Spooky, to say the least. Becca, as you might know, I like to class myself as a comedic entertainer. Well, actually not myself, Vlad Yuan. As you will know, I'm actually Lavard, and I mistakenly said that I was 24 years old earlier in this news presentation, but as a matter of fact, I am 17. Vlad has come under some fire recently, having posted a video where he makes a joke, and certain individuals of the public domain have headed to his DMs with absolute aggression, saying that, you know, certain topics should not be joked about, as some people can be offended by these things. And, you know, it got me thinking last night, and I will not lie with you, Rebekah Pemberton from Ototahi Christchurch and Teal Sky.wav, the band. I could not sleep last night because I was running over in my mind, where does the line draw between comedy and offensiveness?
A very controversial take and very controversial opinion. Something that can also be discussed is the cancel culture that then is created and emerges from these controversial things. I think from recent studies, it shows that if you are not directly hurting somebody or directly offending them, it is regarded as comedy. Whereas if it could cross the line and upset you or upset another deeply, it heads into that controversial territory. Some things that are very much known for this are political issues, gender or sexuality issues, racial issues, and sometimes when people are just being dumbasses. I think controversy Hershey should not last when it comes to criminal inductions, such as this is a topic where it's harder, as the law is more involved, whereas political sites such as TikTok and Reddit, most popular with the nations around the globe, they actually come into play as centerfold focus. You can find many a dead 20-year-old white man, very controversial older Christian men, all sacrificed, burnt at the stake, and destroyed by hordes of women on TikTok. Controversial or not, this is something that no one can control, I think. And as the weather and the hurricane kicks in, I think it's going to be hard to figure out where to go.
Rebekah, thank you for that extremely succinct and incredibly clear answer to my question. I'm sure that all the viewers now have a much more clear understanding of where that line is drawn. Now, Rebekah Pemberton, political editor and reporter of Ototahi Christchurch and lead singer of Ototahi-based band Teal Sky. I have a question for you now, and we are going to link it back to your band. You have been performing outrageous amounts of shows in Christchurch. So tell us a little bit about how that is. How's the touring schedule going? How do you balance being one of the most influential rock stars of today and being one of the most important political editors for our country, Aotearoa, New Zealand?
Being a political editor, it is very hard to manage alongside it. But no, we've been doing last time I came on the show, I think we had been only doing like 3 or 4. It wasn't really that many at all. And I think I told you we wanted to get like, or I personally wanted to get like 100 monthly listeners or something. But goodness me, we did 2 gigs in March, 2 gigs in February. We've done a gig March 3rd, March 11th, March 15th, and then we're doing another one March 25th. We've been offered a gig April 6th. We've also got another gig that's set in stone, which is like a mini festival, April 22nd, and then potentially another gig in the week after that week. And then we've also got stuff going on in May. It's been bloody insane. We're definitely not influenced. Honestly, no, we just actually love to just make music and create and just like vibe. Like I've openly said to people, like, I don't even care if I didn't get paid. Like, it's not about that. And none of the other boys think that either. Like, we literally just love performing, but it's been insane. And trying to balance it with this important role is very hard. It takes a toll as I play 3 different people.
So where are these gigs that you're doing? Are they all in Christchurch or what? When can I come and see Teal Sky live? When can Young V open for Teal Sky?
I want Young V to open for Teal Sky right now. I think that would be amazing. That's like, that would be so good. That would be honestly really amazing. But no, we've just been doing it. We've been quite frequently going to and gigging at the Dark Room in 12 Bar. We've honestly just been going like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We've done gigs at Space Academy. So all the 3 of those bars, they're all on St. Asaph Street, which isn't directly in town, but it's like sub off town. And then we've also done gigs before at Wonder Bar, and then we've also done some at the Leafield Tavern, which is like an hour out of Christchurch. We've been offered another gig in Amberley as well, which is like an hour and a bit outside of Christchurch. But that we've been talking with some people that are up in Auckland about opening for them and stuff like that. Because that is like what we want to do. We really want to come up to the North Island and also go to Dunedin, because we really just want to like be with the students, vibe with them, and just do it, because that's all we want to do. Like, we're literally so young. All of us are like in our 20s, like early 20s, and we're literally just like, okay, let's be a band. And I feel like Young V can relate to that, because he is just so young and he loves making music.
Yeah, Young V, 19 years old. And I've heard that Young V is working on an EP. Yeah. He's got several tracks already completed. And I have actually, because Young V is, he's quite a close friend of Vlad, who is also a close friend of mine. So Young V's a mutual friend. And I have heard that Young V has been working on some acoustic melodies, and Vlad did tell me that he was actually hoping to collaborate with Teal Sky on some of his own work. So is that something that you think that you guys would be open to doing?
We're literally so open to collabing with like anybody, honestly. It just has to like fit into the schedules, if I'm going to be completely honest. It's like we're so busy, because that's amazing that he's making his EP and stuff, because we're also in the process of recording more music. We're actually going in this weekend to record our next single, which is going to be I Say, which is one that like has been getting lots of people engaged at the moment. Like, whenever we perform it, they're just like, and we're like, yes, because stank face is like what you want. And so yeah, like doing collabs and stuff like that is something we're definitely interested in. It's just, our thing is we don't care about the money or anything like that. It's just the energy and the vibe has to be right. Like it has to just be organic, not forced. Do you know what I'm? Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah. Hell yeah, rock on. Rebekah, I've just been the producers are in my ear right now. There's a lot of complaints coming through from this episode. People are quite unhappy. They feel like we have been quite sarcastic and offensive. So the producers are saying that we might need to wrap it up. So, Rebekah, is there anything else that you would like to report on from your travels today in the beautiful city of Ōtautahi, Christchurch?
Thank you for that correspondence. It has been a fantastic day here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. It has been interesting talking to the general population and getting their opinions. Some controversial, some aggressive, mostly viewpoints. Something that is organic and fresh that everybody wishes and wants to hear. It has been an amazing take and an amazing day and an amazing talk, especially with you, Lavard. Thank you. And I think some reports are that teal sky is on the horizon. So that is something to watch out for. But thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Rebekah, for tuning in as the political correspondent today. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else involved, that was the series revival of Lavard's Take. If you did find this news impactful, enlightening, shocking, controversial, and something that you would want to hear more of, please do not hesitate to let us know that you found this valuable. And with that being said, Lavard out.